And welcome to our Radnor Township Design Review Board meeting. Before we get started, we're going to ask you to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Dave. Just a couple ground rules before we get started. The meetings are televised live, so when you come to the podium, please let us know who you are, the business you represent, and you can lay your plans out at the table next to the podium. So we have a rather long agenda tonight, but we'll try to move it along pretty quick. We got a big baseball game coming up soon, so we'll see what we can do here. So the first application tonight is DRB 2022-40, the application of Corner Bakery at 613 West Lancaster Avenue for some wall signage and awnings. And this gentleman was in last month, and we asked him to come back with some revisions, so nice to have you here.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Christian Boulanger, Saint-Jacques. I'm representing A2Z Sign for Corner Bakery.
Okay.
I suggest we start with the first one, which is the one on the sign is going to be on the street. And the issue last time was the 15 feet. So we removed the awnings and we lowered down the sign. And what you see on the right side, all those little circles are stickers we put for the 15 feet. And we're going to line up to the lowest one.
Okay, so you're going to have a channel letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to be lighted, and we use electrical, and I think the light on the above are going to be removed.
Okay. The black panel, what is that going to be, a metal then?
Yeah, it's aluminum.
Okay.
Aluminum with white letters, white acrylic.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys good with that?
And the important also, the square footage is down to 21.8. No. Sorry, 28.
28, yeah.
Okay. And so then we can move to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be, there was no problem last time with this one beside the square footage. So the square footage will reduce, and now the sum of the two of them is below 50. That was the issue last time. We were at 52, and now we are below 50. And this one will be installed exactly where the other one was before, and reusing the exact same anchor system.
It looks a little different on your photograph here compared to what we have. It looks like the sign is placed over top of glass.
No, it's over top the. It's a kind of an awning, a metal canopy there, and the sign is installed. Let me show you. I think I have not really visible here, but you see here. As you can see, the sign is installed. It's an overhang above the door, and there is some brackets. It's pretty small there.
Gotcha.
There's some brackets that are already there, that where the previous sign was, and we're going to attach these signs exactly to where the previous one was.
Okay.
We're using the exact same bracket and system.
So you are going to be under 15?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You guys good with that? Okay. Everybody's happy? Okay, good. All right. So
Next
looks like
one.
you brought an awning in also, right?
Yeah, this
Okay.
one was added to the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And we made sure that if you look at the sum of the size, the total height is going to be about 14 feet, below the 15 feet. And nothing special, there's no light. It's just a fabric.
Graphics. Yeah. All right, if you want to say something.
In terms of the
The text. Yes.
So with the issue that we have with that one would be the actual text on the bottom on the banner line of the awning.
Yeah,
Technically, you, per code, you can't use the descriptor words like that. It would only be the name of the business that's allowed on those. And so if you want to take off the words at the bottom,
Yeah.
I think that would be fine.
that's fine.
But I think that's the main issue with that.
Yeah, I can make this happen.
Okay.
No problem.
Just don't
So it'll
don't
just
put
be
anything.
black.
Just black, just
Yep,
black one.
perfect.
And can they put corner bakery?
Yeah,
Would that exceed this, would that be considered signage at that point?
I think it's fine, yeah. Yeah, 8-inch letters max.
Yeah.
It's right next to the
No,
Cat
no,
Bakery.
but again, I agree with you, but I'm the messenger, and they're gonna ask the question, okay? So
I think it looks better that way.
it would look better that way, yeah.
You could put the phone number or website or the address also.
Okay,
So
All
there's
right.
some options.
okay.
All right. The awning itself,
So I'm
though,
pretty sure the website is probably cornerbakery.com, so.
probably.
You don't need a website there.
What type material on that awning?
Excuse me?
Is it a umbrella?
It's, yeah, it is Sombrella fabric, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. And then the last thing, you have a graphic.
The last thing was the one that was not allowed because it was saying pickup orders on top of this
Yes.
one. It's changed to just the white lettering on the door,
Perfect.
okay? And way below the percentage, the 20%,
Right.
okay? Because we are around 1%. Last thing that I would like to mention, that was mentioned last time, the number of the building, the address,
There you
that's still there.
Good.
Okay,
So it's
good.
not going to be removed, and it's going to be there.
go. Gotcha. Okay. Anything else for us tonight?
No, I think I'm done.
Any questions or comments? Everybody's good?
No, I'm good with that.
Happy? Tim, you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. In the matter of DRB 2022-40, I move to approve the amended application.
Want to just mention about the awning?
True, with the caveat that the awning will only have, will be black, solid, without any type of lettering or writing on it.
Okay, do we hear a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Next on the agenda is DRB 2022-42, the application of Image 360 Motorino at 910 Conestoga Road for a wall sign. And we're just going to push that application back a little later on in the agenda. And our next one is DRB 2022-38, the application of Compass at 216 East Lancaster Avenue. And we're also going to push that one back just a little bit. And both of those applicants were in last month, and we're just clearing up a couple things this month. So jumping along here, we're at DRB 2022-45, the application of Chick-fil-A at 319 East Lancaster Avenue for a wall sign. And just for a point of reference, this Chick-fil-A is going in where the Panera is, I believe,
Yes,
on East
that's
Lancaster
correct.
Avenue.
That is correct. It is going where the Panera was.
Okay. Great. Well, it's nice to have you here tonight.
I drove in this morning from Ohio, 387 miles of foliage. It was
Wow.
gorgeous.
It's nice to have you here.
So I visited the site, and what they're proposing is a sign that is consistent with the other signs in the shopping center. There is channel letters that are internally illuminated. They're only illuminated when the business is open. These are the material samples for the exact colors. The returns are this latte color, and then the faces are red. The sign reads Chick-fil-A, and it's 49.36 square feet. It will be positioned above the existing awning. The existing awning frame is still in place, So the plan is to reskin the awning with a black sunbrella material and install the sign above the main entrance to Chick-fil-A. I'm just gonna bring it out there and put it right on the table. The issue that we have is that the existing awning that's already in place is so high compared to the other awnings in the shopping center, that the sign can't meet that 15-foot height requirement. So I did go out and measure the Five Below sign today, and the Five Below sign is just slightly 17 foot, between 17 foot and 5 inches over above grade as well. And the proposal that we have is for 17 foot 4 inches, so that we can accommodate the top of the C for Chick-fil-A.
What do you think, Tom?
If we bring it down, this is what we're left with. We're left with something that's on the awning, like that, or we're left with something that's really small, like that. So this is the proposed option.
I remember.
And it will be in line with,
Yeah.
when you look at the storefront, you have storefronts that are out, and then you have storefronts that are set back. And the Five Below is what juts out, and it will be in line with the height of the Five Below.
I don't know if you guys remember when Five Below came in. I don't know if they went to the zoning hearing board for relief or just one of those things where, I don't remember, yeah. You guys were here for that, I
Yeah,
think.
I don't think they did.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not sticking out to me that they didn't.
no,
It's
exactly.
almost like the building sign bands were designed too high.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go, I mean, we went out there, my husband and I went out there today and measured it with the tape measure. If you go and you look, a lot of them are right at that 15 foot or a little bit.
Looks like they
And it's,
centered the sign with the 15.
and it's because of the awning. That awning is really what creates a problem. It would be aesthetically awkward if all of the signs were down at right at the ridge of the awning. It's much more aesthetically pleasing to have the sign a little bit up from the awning.
Yeah.
But the awnings are pretty, you don't want to get rid of the awnings
Right.
either.
Well, I was going to say, does every tenant have an awning?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Right across the board
And
now.
I asked Chick-fil-A if they were going to get rid of the awning. They said no, that, I believe that's a landlord requirement.
Okay.
Well, it makes me wonder when this was constructed, if there was something put in with zoning at that time.
Yeah,
I don't know, that would take some research.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you able to compare your proposed design to other stores other than Five Below?
Yeah, we were able to compare it to Five Below, and what we're proposing is equivalent to what Five Below already has.
Right, so other than Five Below, I know that there's also,
Those are the stores that are set back, and they're smaller storefronts. And so their awnings are smaller, and their height is slightly lower. So it would be, the way that the building is designed, it would be appropriate for the storefronts that are jutted out to have matching sign heights, and then the storefronts that are jutted back, because in your line of sight, it looks like they're equal.
So how many jet out between
Well,
Chick-fil-A?
there's Chick-fil-A, and then there's another store on the right-hand side of Chick-fil-A. I don't know what that is.
Anthony's
It's
Coal
Anthony
Fire?
Coal
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the,
You're taking Panera's space?
yeah.
Yes.
Where was Panera's sign at?
I got a picture right here.
It's right above the awning,
Maybe 8 inches above the awning.
which is consistent with Nick Felice was just in not that long
Right.
ago. Theirs is right above it.
But clearly, I mean, I'm scrolling past the elevation, clearly Five Below is higher than everyone else.
Yeah.
If you
They
measure
seem
by
the
bricks,
exception.
like, a brick is 2¼ inches if you don't count the grout. If you measure by bricks, that Five Below sign is 7 bricks above that awning. So it's approximately 15 inches above the awning.
It seems to me that the five below sign is actually the outlier, not, it's the exception, not the rule.
Five Below is just
that's what they're proposing.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah, that's an improvement.
It could be lower. You know, they're just,
Because the other ones, if you look at the,
We can't
if
approve
you remember where the
something,
yogurt,
it's just a drawing
is that
or
still there,
work.
yogurt
Right.
shop?
Yes, and it's just a little bit higher, but not much,
They all sit right above the
Uh-huh.
awning.
right?
In the drawings, they're under 15 feet.
No, that's a good point.
So
The
this is
drawings
what
that were
we have-
submitted
we
were
have to
actually
work on.
put on at 15 feet.
That was, I think that was before we knew the actual building height.
Right.
I think when we knew once we learned the actual building height, then,
And the drawing is omitting the awning.
yeah.
Right. Well, I guess,
The awning we're going.
right, right. If the awning goes, then I wonder if it's going to look weird.
It would.
Yeah, if they're the only ones that don't have it. And Tim, you want to give her the legal option, zoning hearing board?
Or reduce the square footage of the sign.
Yeah, which is rather large.
Oh, that's the second option up top there, right?
Yep.
If you were to reduce the size to keep the top of the
15
C
foot,
in
yeah, it's not
Chick-fil-A at 15.
it won't be legible at all.
On your drawings, that's where you have it.
Yeah, the plans that were submitted show 15, but like you said, it, yeah. Right, I think.
Well, I think our hands are kind of tied on this one. We can't approve of it above 15 because that's what the ordinance says. That's what zoning has put in place for the height. I mean, it might take some research to see if there is something with this building, to see if there's something that allows for signs to be over that's already being considered by a zoning hearing on this when this was constructed, what, geez, 10 years ago now?
I honestly think the sign installer misread the,
Oops, I think your mic's off.
oh, sorry. You know, and they centered Five Below
Rather
at
than-
15.
Yeah.
You know, rather than top
I think so
being
too.
15.
I see.
Because if you follow the, you know, line of sight across the face of the building, they would be at the same height if Five Below was lowered maybe 6 to 8 inches.
Right,
Yeah, I tend to agree with you that it looks like Five Below is not,
In code.
yeah.
So do you?
Which could, if you could, I mean, it might take that, if you want to have the sign the full size and having it go up to the 17, it would take, you know, approval
Zoning
by
relief.
zoning, which we can't give.
Right.
Or ancillary to the zoning.
Right.
So you'd have to seek relief from that. Potentially, you could use Five Below as some type of support for the position, but, and again, there might be some research if you talk to the township. I guess Kevin would be the person to reach out to speak to about trying to see the historical review of this building. But our hands are tied that we can't actually approve it at the 17.
Well, we can approve the plan as drawn.
Correct.
right.
So which is the one that's 15 foot above height?
Which eliminates the awning, it looks like.
Well, there's two options, I guess, right? There's the one that's been submitted to us on the plans and the one that we're seeing up on the screen. The one that was submitted on the plan doesn't have the awning and is showing the top of the C at the 15-foot mark. But if you add the awning in, then the option would be the second up top here under the per code.
12.79 square feet.
Or zoning relief.
Or zoning
Right.
rules, yeah.
So those are the options that we're able to give you tonight.
That's fine. I mean, however you make the motion, you can make a motion to approve the design as submitted, and that if they want to seek something at 15 feet, then they have to go to the zoning hearing board.
My concern would be is if they take the awning off, would that make it look weird?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I don't think that they can. I think the landlord is requiring them to keep the awning.
Okay.
So
Then
I
think
see
we-
them being willing to go to the zoning hearing board, but also there's an opening and there's a time frame that you have to take in mind. So they may consider putting up the smaller sign, going to the zoning hearing board,
Yeah.
and then coming back and putting up the bigger sign. So if you guys can make a motion to approve something tonight, design-wise, so that we can get signage on the front, and then if they want to go for the 17-foot 4-inch, then they can do that on the backside. If that would please you, I would appreciate it.
What's the square footage on the top right again? I can't see the numbers from here.
they're right on the money at 49 feet.
I think the other thing that some people have used, especially down where like TJ Maxx is almost a hardship because it sits so far off the highway. You need a little bit larger sign. That may be somewhat hard to see from the
Oh,
highway.
yeah, that 12.79 square foot sign's not going to be legible from the road. This building does sit back.
I think everybody knows when
Yeah, I don't
Chick-fil-A
think you need
opens up.
advertisement for this location.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I think we're in agreement here where we're at. Like I
To the
said,
point where
hands
I'm
are a little bit
advocating
tied.
a police officer at this location for Friday afternoons after the middle school gets let out, because you're gonna have your hands full.
Yeah,
Traffic in
Because
and out.
Five Below does the same thing.
Yeah,
yeah, Chick-fil-A is used to traffic.
yeah,
I don't know, you know, this onslaught.
Yeah.
okay. All right. And you also came in with an application for a panel on the ground sign?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of panel on the ground sign with a red background and white letters. That is the Chick-fil-A standard, so that's what they're proposing.
How about if we flip it around, because we like consistency?
Uh-huh.
All the panels
So
will
you
be
want a
the same
white background
color.
with red letters?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Or whatever the same color is of that sign. I don't know if it actually is white.
Okay,
Yeah, it's like a cream color.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as close as you can match it.
okay.
All right. And that shouldn't be a problem. So the awning will have no graphics, just plain black?
No, it's plain.
The other guys, okay. Anything proposed for the signage in the windows? Okay. Because we do have a,
Hours,
okay,
it's right here.
okay, good. Just in case, you're only allowed to use 20% of your available window space for signage?
Oh, yeah, it's a very small amount.
Okay. All right. And no A-frame signs, like tent signs?
No.
Sidewalk, okay.
No,
And we'll just make sure the address number is on the building, which probably is, but you can just double check that?
yeah, they will put it on the glass.
Okay.
Above the door.
Okay, that's fine. I see it there, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Any other questions from the board?
No, I don't have any questions.
Good. Okay, comments, questions? Everybody's good? Everybody's happy? Tim?
Yeah.
Colin? You're
Yes,
good?
sir. Yeah, yeah.
Why
Lawyer
don't
Tim,
you
you wanna
take
take this one?
Being the legal.
Yeah, I'll take it again.
Okay,
In
thanks.
the matter of DRB 2022-45, the application of Chick-fil-A, I move to approve the application subject to the revisions of the application such that the wall sign would be the reduced size of the lettering to a 12.79 square foot sign with the maximum height of the C at Chick-fil-A being at 15 feet or below, and that the color scheme for the monument sign would be reversed such that the letterings would be red and the background would be cream or matching whatever the existing background is for the other signs at the monument.
Okay, do we hear a second on that?
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Appreciate that. Any idea of when you plan on opening that store?
I heard December,
All right, good.
so they move pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah,
Merry Christmas to you.
great. Thank you very much. Okay, next on the agenda is application of DRB 2022-46, the application of Compass at 216 East Lancaster Avenue for facade renovations.
I have actual samples that you just want me from like this.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, gentlemen.
We're doing facade first, right?
Hello, my name is Kerry Haber. I'm a principal and an architect with Bernardin. We were the architects of record for this renovation project of an existing building, and we're here tonight to present you with our color palette and answer any questions that you may have. Would you like me just to go right into
Sure.
what
You
the
can
colors
just
are?
walk us through the project. Thank you.
So this is the rendering of the building. I have handouts if you would like to see them.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that what we have here? Oh, okay.
I'll take that one because
All right, you changed it?
has the wrong township on it.
Wrong township on it. I'm kind of amazed.
So just to review overall, as I say, the brick and the roof are existing. from the building, which was built 20, 30 years ago. And then we have certain new materials as well. So the triangle area on the facade is going to be a hardy siding, fiber cement. It's called cobblestone, sort of a neutral tan color, if you will. And then there's a band of existing ephes, which we're going to recoat, which would be that color, sort of a medium gray color, I guess you would say. And then the metal fascia that runs along the ridge of the building is the metal trim, labeled so. And let's see. So we covered the ephes. The storefront windows framing will be the existing, which is a dark bronze. And the columns are steel columns, and they will be painted the color on the far left, again, to match the ephes. So other than the brick and the shingles, there's really three colors. You have this light beige color of the siding. You have the medium color of the ephes band and the columns. And you have the slightly darker color of the metal trim, which will match the windows. So we feel that that palette is very suitable and complementary to what is going on there. So I'm very happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I guess maybe you could talk about the tower, where the sign's going to be applied.
Okay, actually, let me clarify. The next applicant is the tenant.
Yes.
And when we did this rendering, we showed the sign on the gable.
Right,
It is not going to be on the gable.
exactly.
Which I just learned, which is fine. So it will be on the tower above the entry. So the tower, it's a little bit hard to see in the shadows, but it's essentially a glass focal point, which will have a film on it so you can't see through it because it's like attic space behind that. And then it's surrounded by the siding and the ephes color with a metal trim on the top. It's a symbolic tower. There's nothing in it,
Okay.
just an
Design
entrance
element.
feature. And then their sign, as I understand, is going to be placed at the low part, which would be very visible from the parking lot.
Okay, good. Questions or comments for this gentleman?
I like it.
You guys all right? John, you're all right? Okay, good.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jane.
I didn't see it earlier today either on the plans. Where's the landscape plan?
I don't know. I was not responsible for the landscape plan. I assume that would have
But
been
you're representing the
submitted.
owner of the building, right?
Yes.
So they would be responsible for the landscaping.
So we could do that. So there is existing landscaping on the property, which is going to be trimmed and cleaned up shortly. Actually not aware that there was any requirement to change the landscaping other than to clean it up. Right now, if you were to drive by, you can hardly see the building because it's vastly overgrown.
Right.
And so very shortly, they're going to clean that up. And then I guess it would be up to the township if you had any questions beyond that. But since we didn't go through land development,
No.
I don't know that the landscaping would fall under the jurisdiction, but I don't know for sure.
It does.
Okay.
The thing is, there are 2 trees, I think, on the front of the building. And are you intending to keep those trees?
Yes, they'll be trimmed back because they're overgrown,
Yeah,
but they would
because
remain.
They're one of the few trees on that block,
Yes,
all we know.
right, yeah.
So they are sort of important to the street, overall streetscaping.
Yes.
on Lancaster Avenue, which we hope someday to improve and put trees further down. I think if you're familiar, they've been planting trees out from the center.
Yes. Well, I think the trees work with the architecture for rendering purposes. They're not on here because then you wouldn't see the building. But the focal point really is the tower. And so having those trees is certainly fine. So there's no indication to take them down, but they will be trimmed back because they're quite overgrown.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think because the trees are important and
Sure.
any green space we can keep on the pike. is a
Sure.
good idea.
Absolutely.
Any other questions for the board? Very good. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Who would like to make a motion for approval? Colin, you want to take that?
In the matter of DRB 2022-46, Compass with total construction facade approval for 216 East Lancaster Avenue, Wayne. Motion for approval.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next is going to be DRB 2022-38, the application at Compass at 216 East Lancaster Avenue for wall signage. Thank you for hanging in there. All right, and this applicant was in last month, and we asked her to stop back tonight, so nice to have you back.
Thank you. I'm Terry Kirkwood again from Compass, and we lowered the
Right,
letters as requested.
that was pretty simple, wasn't it?
It was very
Yeah,
simple.
the Compass was higher than 15 feet last month, and look how easy it is to lower it. Yeah. All right, guys, what do you think of that?
Looks good to me.
Yeah. And your ground sign was approved last month, so we're okay with that, unless you're making any changes to that this month.
Not at all.
Okay.
Okay.
And 18 square feet, channel letters, under 15 feet in height.
Sounds
Pretty
good.
easy.
Yep.
All right. Questions for us?
No questions?
Okay. Who wants to take this? Jane?
All right.
Okay.
For DRB 2022-38 for Compass Realty at 216 Lancaster Avenue for the wall sign that is now in compliance with the ordinance, I move for approval.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda tonight is DRB 2022-47, the application of Villanova University at 2 Aldwin Lane for 2 new signs and the seals on the building facade.
The signs are already up.
Yes, and this location was in last month and, or 2 months ago, I believe, yeah. Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Ah. Got it. So we're here about Aldwin 1 and 2, and the installation of 2 post signs. During our last interview or submission, it was brought to the attention that the sign that's currently installed that says Riley Hall on Lancaster Avenue should have come before the board. So we're here because we're also adding one to Aldwin 1. So this is to show, you know, the sizes of them and where they're going, and that they match all the other signs that go up Lancaster for Villanova.
They're all consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the question was raised last month. Can we just pretty much put them up at will as long as they're consistent? But I think community development wanted you guys to come in with them,
Yep.
so I appreciate that.
Understood?
Yeah, okay. There's any uplighting on those signs or
Yep.
just? No, okay. All right.
No.
And we probably talked about it, flower beds being at the base, I don't know. We kind of like flower beds at the base of the signs, just because it kind of saves the signs from getting nailed with the weed whacker and gives it a little pop of color, but, I mean, it's strictly up to you guys.
They're sitting inside the existing landscaping that was there. They're in mulch, so,
Okay.
yeah,
It's a mulch bed.
yeah.
It's not
All right.
a flower bed.
That'll work.
Aldwin 2. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an office building.
But as I know, the university has become a certified arboretum. I don't know if you're 1 or 2, whatever. And I know you're working to improve the landscaping throughout the campus. So I guess this board is going to assume you're going to refresh and renovate the landscaping around this building as time.
Yeah, I believe they did when they took over the first building that was occupied, and
Yeah.
they'll do the same as they move forward.
Because it could use something.
Okay.
Because it's your development office, or what's it, advancement, which is basically your fundraising
Yes.
department. Gotta look good.
All right. How about the university seals?
Yeah.
So, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, this one. Do we have, this was removed from,
There's an email he sent. Check it out. Talk about the seals.
right,
Just came in today.
from Kevin? Okay. So,
Do we approve the sign separately from the other one?
Wait,
Oh, never mind.
I'm sorry.
when we showed the last application to put the sign that says Riley Hall on the building, the comment came up about the seal that we had been showing on there, and we're here to talk about that now, which, under our understanding in our conversation with Kevin Kachansky, that it's not considered a sign.
Yeah,
And so it doesn't fall under the jurisdictions of that.
right, okay. Yeah, I think, what's your interpretation, or Kevin, I think just wanted to make the board aware of that. Yeah,
I guess it's now considered, it's gonna be considered as an ornamental feature of the building, so it's part of the facade now, that's all right.
Right, and we're here to
That's the
talk about,
directive that we've been given.
Right.
we're talking about the facade next.
This was submitted as with the sign application, and Kevin thinks it should be.
I'm
part of-
I'm sorry, sir. Can we just ask you?
Excuse me, my name's Kevin Blackney. It was submitted as part of this sign application. After we met with Kevin, he feels as though it should be transferred to the facade application, but that happens to be the next application, so like that.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Yeah, I
explains.
think we're good with it. I think
makes sense.
Kevin just wanted to make everybody aware about that.
I can live with that interpretation of the code.
Yeah, positively. Colin?
Seal a new approach
Oh, your mic's off.
to renovations, or are they on existing buildings? Like, for example, the new Performing Arts Center, did the seal go on that building?
The seal did go on that.
Okay, I just don't recall.
It's not in our book of standards to
Got
go.
it.
It just happened that the advancement building, we thought it was a good spot to put one.
Merely curious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I guess that wraps up this application then, correct? All right. So, somebody, Jane, you want to take this one?
All right, so I got the right one here.
Okay.
DRB 2022-47 for the two monument signs at Alden Road and for Riley Hall at Villanova University. I move for approval.
Okay. For your second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
great. Thank you. And next is DRB 2022-48, the application of Villanova University at 2 Aldwin Lane for the building facade improvements and some upgrades.
Good evening. My name's Kevin Blackney with Blackney Hayes Architects representing Villanova University. As was already mentioned, Aldwin 2 has been renovated into Riley Hall, which is office for advancement. And part of that renovation is the exterior, some exterior improvements. If at all possible, if we could zoom into some of these older pictures. But I think everybody knows Aldwin. Last time we met, it was like we know Aldwin. There's no reason to worry about it. But what it is now is this, and you can see in this picture here, it's a brick facade throughout, but between the different window spandrels, there is a buff stucco color, and you can see that in this on your phone or in this picture. So the first thing to do is to paint the stucco, the buff stucco, and we submitted the sample, but it's anodized bronze to match the windows. There are existing windows, so it matches the windows. So that's the first change is to paint the stucco, and then the other change is, if you could see on the pictures, there is an old pent roof, kind of an awning, And the idea is to take that pent roof off and to put a new contemporary, more of a contemporary kind of a coping on the top of the building made out of flat metal. And again, that metal color will match the windows, so that as you can see from the rendering, it all is going to be much more uniform. The brick is not changing, so, okay, so the rendering makes it look like the brick is changing, but the brick is not changing. It's really just painting the stucco and changing the cornice.
I guess every school has to have at least a brick building somewhere rather than stone. Keeping the stone to the east side of Lancaster, right?
So the drive-through canopy? that's
Right,
all-
so again, this is going to be, it's in your application, it may be hard, but right here in this image right here, we can blow up even closer there. There's an old drive-through canopy, because it used to be a bank, and the idea is to remove that drive-through canopy and just leave what's there, maybe some brick repair when the drive-through canopy comes off, so it's really not it's not a major change to the building. It's a very small part of the building.
Right.
So that's what this application is for, painting the stucco, modernizing the cornice, and taking down the drive-through canopy. We're not doing any landscaping or any lighting changes at all
Right.
for this part of the project.
Okay. And that'll pretty much complete that building then for our board then?
Yes.
Signage, renovations and stuff?
Yes.
So, okay. Questions? No? You didn't want to hear that about the landscaping, did you?
I know, because I know that it's part of this ordinance.
Okay.
Landscaping, and we just let it go like, well, where's your landscaping plan?
Okay. All right, you guys have any comments, questions?
No.
Sean?
No, I think it'll look nice.
You good? Okay, great. Good. All right. Any comments, questions for the board?
No.
Okay. Who would like, Tim? wanna take
Sure.
this one?
In the matter of DRB 2022-48, the application of Villanova University, I move to approve the application.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
Appreciate that. See, we're going to get you home by the first pitch. There you go. All right. Next is DRB 2022-49, the application of a Taste of Britain at 503 West Lancaster Avenue, Suite 400, for a wall sign. And this is at Eagle Village Center. And Mr. Lou's with us tonight.
Yes, I'm Lou Silverblank from Fast Signs, and I'm representing Taste of Britain. And that is located in Eagle Village. As you can see, the building is interior to the shopping center. It has no visibility from any public street. The existing sign, which has been taken down, is for the business Ellie. That is the area that the sign goes. That's really the only area that's appropriate for a sign.
Yeah, must be, right?
Ellie, I believe so.
Oh, Taste of Britain.
And moving. Taste of
They're expanding.
Okay.
They're, I think, it's going to be a much bigger, they're keeping where they were,
Oh, okay.
but they have taken over this space as well.
Got it.
So this is the proposed sign, and it's going in the same exact spot as the previous sign. The issue at hand here is it is just minimally above the 15-foot allowable standard. But it is exactly where the previous sign was and the sign before then, and there have always been signs in that exact spot. So as far as I can tell, without surveyor's equipment, it's 15 and a half feet up, and that's the top of the sign. So that's it in a nutshell. The total square footage of the sign is 31 square feet. The building frontage is 62 square feet, so they are allowed 50 square feet of signage. As it says in my sign specifications, it's a flat V-routed sign made out of 2-inch thick, high-density urethane with, the Matthews paint system. So it's a very durable sign, and the only issue is that it does extend very minimally above the 15 feet.
Well, I guess we approved delis for that location, so it's pretty hard to turn.
The only concern I have
Yeah.
is, I'm hoping the answer to this question will resolve it. Was the sign LEs taken down before this application was made, or was this application made before that sign was taken down such that the nonconformity would still be in existence?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yes.
The sign was taken down.
Was taken down.
But I think, I could be wrong, but I think they have a little bit of a grace period.
Well, I mean, it's going exactly where the last one was. I have I have absolutely no problem with this sign.
Yeah.
Except for maybe just because of how that picture looks, that the taste of it is hard to read.
It will be visible. Yeah.
But other than that, I have absolutely no problem with this sign.
I was worried with the Chick-fil-A application.
That was a really big sign, and
Yes.
this sign
Yeah.
there has been a sign right there, this
No other
side.
option either.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right?
That's it, yeah.
It's
It would take actually moving the sign,
moving that,
constructing a box out.
moving that dormer, yeah.
And again, the history of this property may have,
It could.
different language
Right.
in the bylaws. I don't know.
So,
Well, I'm good with it. if you
I'm
guys
good
are
with it.
I'm good with it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else for us then, or is that pretty much it? I think, no window signage or any other signage you're
No.
coming in for? Okay. All right. 31 square feet. And there's, the lighting on that sign?
No lighting.
No lighting, okay. That center itself's pretty
It
well lit.
closes, yeah.
Yeah, and it closes early, so, okay. All right, so, Tim, we're gonna get in trouble, once you get in trouble.
As I'm sitting here thinking, really the sign is actually the box itself, and the box hasn't been taken down.
That's
The box
it.
is still
Yeah.
there, so
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
find a way.
Yeah,
I was thinking that too,
Yeah, I
that the
think so.
structure's still there
You give the
exactly the
lawyer
same
5
size.
seconds, he'll find his way.
there you go.
In the matter of DRB 2022-49, the application of Taste of Britain, I move to approve the application.
Second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And next application is DRB 2022-50, the application of, I think it's mainline orthodontics.
It's, yes, orthodontics on the line, which is orthodontics on the line.
Oh, is that, okay.
Yes, that's,
Open?
he is open, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's it, 108 East Lancaster Avenue.
yes.
Zoned in the Wayne Business Overlay District for one wall sign.
Yes, and the frontage of this building is 26 feet. I'm not counting the doorway over here. It's, the awning is 24 feet wide, and then there's about a foot on each side of the awning for that part of the building. So,
Approve a sign for this location?
Did,
Yeah.
What was it?
It was
a
at,
boutique?
no, it was the,
The map guy?
Mr. Caruso's building. It was, they did like taping of history and, it was like for the foundation. I forget what the name of it was. Well, here
Was
you
it
go.
the
Tim,
speaker place?
There you go.
I thought it was for speakers.
Actually, Lisa brought the previous application. Nice enough to get it there, so,
When was this picture taken, do you know, sir?
oh, just within the last few weeks.
Because I'm not seeing the map guy's sign.
no,
There
this
was
is the
the
map
sign-
guys to the right.
You're talking about over the doorway?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because there was a sign that went right over this doorway then too, right?
That's what I thought.
No. You guys are thinking of,
Are we on the wrong side of the street?
you guys are thinking of.
Because the map guy's in the basement of this.
No. The map store is to the right. Remember a couple months ago, the kid came in, they're doing a
yeah,
baseball card shop and all?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just to the left of that.
We're on the wrong side of the street, aren't we?
No, you're saying
No,
side of
we
the street.
are.
we are?
Yeah,
We're just
it's
getting applications mixed
The
up.
Dunkin',
One building to the left,
the
but,
Dunkin' Donuts is hiding behind the tree.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So-
What's your proposed height of this sign?
the height,
13 feet.
it's, yes, it is below the 15-foot maximum.
It's just a monster.
So I'm going
Yeah,
to
no.
test you guys' memory. Jane, I don't believe you were on the board at that time, but the applicant
It's asking a lot.
came back. Yeah, I know it is. There's basically a signed box created by the brickwork.
I know.
That's what I remembered
That's
this.
what we're covering.
And remember, they wanted to come back and relocate it, and we said, no, you got to keep it within that sign box.
Bang and Olufsen.
Yes.
That's who it
Previous-
was.
Well, no, two back, Bang and
Who
Olufsen.
was it before that? I can't remember.
Yeah, this is
there
a
was-
videotaping thing.
Years ago, there was a ladies' store called Charlene Shop.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
a store called
I
the
know
Hollyhocks.
Charlene's shop.
Remember the Hollyhocks?
I don't remember that, but I
There's been
remember
a
the
number of
Charlene's.
ones.
The last page is the one that'll help you.
So you guys do remember that, the restriction we placed on the
We
applicant?
made them fit it right in the box.
Exactly. Like you said,
Which
they
I
wanted
think
to
is,
relocate
which I
it.
think is appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I do have a picture of the building without the sign, and you'll see the issue with the sign, with the boxes.
Uncommon individual. I remember that one.
I'm sorry, what was that one?
Uncommon individual?
Well,
That's the name of the business.
no, it wasn't that.
I wasn't in for that one.
Can you find it on your phone, Jim? An image of?
That's dated, it must have, that's 2018.
It was something similar to that. Like you say, it was part of the foundation that Mr. Caruso started.
That's what they're doing.
You don't want to check.
And then is this a projected sign, like a box?
It's a box, it's 5 inches deep,
What's the depth?
5 inches,
5 inches.
yeah.
Well, just looking at the drawing, I think it's ugly. I think it's rather large, and I'm not sure it needs to be that large.
Yeah.
If you're coming to have
And is there a,
orthodontic
I
work,
hate to really pick on you, but is there a way to reduce the 5 inches to just within the cavity of that sign band, so it doesn't project so far off the building? Such a shame, because it's such a beautiful facade.
I agree with you. If we do that, you're going to get hot spots. This is an illuminated sign, so you're going to get hot spots. We do need that kind of depth. Typically, these light boxes are up to 8 inches, but we've cut this down to 5, which
Do we
is,
have other illuminated signs along this corridor?
I don't think we do, that's just a good
No,
point.
there's a lot of awning signs.
Oh, there's also a lot of gooseneck, like,
Yeah, there is, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like
That's what I was gonna propose.
Wayne Sporting Goods.
well,
Formerly.
the formal.
as far as I can tell from reading the ordinance, this is an allowable sign.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Right. We just
We
really
also review aesthetics.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
Beautiful line called discretion. It just gives us some type of plenary discretion, but we try not to overuse that, but
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
this is right in town, so like that's,
yeah.
not in favor of the illumination, really. I mean, I'd rather goosenecks between the windows, illuminating the sign band.
I don't think there's any need for it to be illuminated. I think if you're going to have orthodontic work done, you know where you're going.
it's another fair point.
Yeah, and there's also a street light.
It's not like you
Yeah.
walk
I
down the
think
street and
that's
say,
the
oh, I want to
last
have
time
my
when they
tooth
came.
fixed.
There's a street light right
There,
there.
there was conversation about the street light lighting up the sign. I do remember that. Now, whether that was, is this one or the Philadelphia Print Shop? That's the one that I was thinking of.
No, I think you might be accurate with this one. Yeah.
And then do we have a problem with, because this is residence above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is illuminating sign affecting residents? I don't know.
I don't think that'll be an issue.
No, I know, I'm just
Yeah.
bringing up all the possibilities.
But I just remembered,
It's right next to it, that's what was.
that they came in, we approved this, excuse me, we approved the sign, fit it within the brickwork, or the sign box will say. And they, if I remember right, they came back, wanted to reposition it. We said, no, that's got to fit on that building, that location. I mean, am I going nuts, or do you think I'm?
No, I think we're setting a standard here.
Yeah,
You
right,
know?
right. So
It's
looking
a
at the picture.
very focal building in our town.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
And it's a very large sign.
And it sits
I don't
right-
like it.
It sits right on the highway.
Yeah.
Like
I
it
mean,
either.
geez,
No
you can't
offense,
see
but
that, you shouldn't be driving.
It's just too big.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it's the name of their business, so.
Right.
So what do we need to do to get approved?
I think you need to go back to the drawing board and come up with a better sign.
And
So I
More
think you can
appropriate
work
to the
with
building
this.
it's on. It should look like it's appropriate for the building it's on. This sign looks like it's just the first thing that, you know, oh, let's put a black and white sign on a brick building with arches.
Well, if
I don't-
you think about what, Blue Mercury's right there, right?
Well, they're on the corner.
Yeah, they have raised lettering with gooseneck over it.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Print Shop has their panel
Yes.
with the light over top of it.
Mhm.
I guess we just put the card shop in there.
Right, right. They just
That's
did
not lit.
vinyl application in the window, remember?
Yeah.
And the upper glass.
I feel like the sign can be dramatically reduced and fit within the sign band and not project and not be lit.
Could they just put the sign on the awning?
You know, people
that awning,
aren't
it's,
visiting this location randomly. If they're going there for a purpose, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not like an advertisement.
Well, the owner is, it is a new business.
Especially, I mean,
I get it.
orthodontics is pretty big business almost anymore.
No, I understand.
I think there's a way to work with the design of this sign.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I don't, what are the letter heights on this sign as it is?
20, well, I don't know the font size.
Actually, I don't, what is, I don't know.
Overall
actually.
sign height is 2 feet, but the font size, you know, is probably 18 inches or something.
Which is usually where we try to keep the lettering smaller on this
Yeah.
stretch anyway.
For sure.
I think it's probably, 18 inches at the maximum. It may be an inch smaller, but I don't know
I
exactly.
think there's an opportunity then for them to work with the landlord to possibly introduce gooseneck lighting and keeping it more of a simple sign fitting within that band.
Okay, we are going to cover up some of that brickwork. It's just a necessity. I mean, this area here,
Well, that's what the old sign did.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
old sign took those 3 boxes
Mhm.
and covered all 3 of the boxes so that you couldn't see the boxes anymore, but it fit right over top of them. Because if you don't cover them all, then you're leaving the little
Yeah,
exposed part. And
agreed.
That's the issue that we have, I think, is it shows that this was
Just stuck on the building.
this,
kind of,
Where's that uncommon sign then?
yeah, that's right.
That looks great.
but
And what they
And
did,
it's a longer
it
business
was a
name.
long sign and it had the different words with the logo in the middle. It's almost exactly what we're
Yeah,
talking about here.
But it
just
fit within the
slightly
brick.
different.
It fit within the brick.
It's that page right there.
Also, I think you should consider another different colors. This black and white is rather jarring on that facade.
well, we went with that because the awning is black.
Well, the building's bigger than the awning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Actually, if you want to just, you can take a look at this.
That's what it should look like.
It's hard to actually see it on this, but if you want to actually take this and put it on the table, then you can put it there so our 5 people at home that watch us can see as well what we're talking about.
The brick panels is what they're talking about.
And it's very hard to see, but if,
I think we should use that as a basis of design.
I agree.
Okay, so if we revise the application to have a non-illuminated sign with gooseneck lighting and stay within the height of the sign band, if, for lack of a better phrase for that, and do probably a high-density urethane sign, you know, a V-routed sign similar to the other location. That would be acceptable to the board?
I would ask if you use that image as a basis of design.
Okay.
So is it possible that he comes back with maybe like 2 to 3 different designs and then we review them?
I don't think we want that. I think we want
I agree with Colin. I like this, what we had agreed on last time this building
And then we
came
can
up.
keep, you know, hopefully this guy stays in business, but like we can
Right.
keep this uniform.
Yes.
Moving forward. 'cause
And quite frankly,
I don't want
I
to
would
ruin, I
say-
don't want to ruin the facade.
I would say even evaluate the need for goosenecks. I don't think
Yeah.
it is a need
Yeah,
for the goosenecks.
and you don't need to go through the expense.
So if you were
Say
looking
what you
for a
said,
contingent, I think we need to see the sign
think we
again.
need to
before
see
we
it
can-
Sure.
They
Sure.
didn't hear it, though.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I was
Oh,
asking,
sorry.
I was asking if it's possible for him to come back with maybe like a couple of different designs next time, and then we can
Fitting
go over
within
them,
that band.
instead of
fine.
him just
Right.
betting on one design.
Well, there's
But
there's
within
not
that-
a
But
whole,
within the criteria we're recommending.
I'm not saying you have to match the sign of a business that obviously didn't work.
We want to see some other designs.
yes, I didn't want to go, I can see where it's not even on the building because the storefront is, or the office, whatever, is only as wide as the awning plus a couple of feet. But if you would like to see the sign extended the entire width,
I don't think.
Nah, there's no need for that.
well, no, that's what this,
You're talking about the three boxes,
right,
the entire width of the three boxes.
yeah.
Which is consistent
They
with
were
what?
talking about the heights, too.
The height also, yeah.
I think,
The one picture that he has of without the sign on there, you can see.
I want to see the design.
I have, if you'd like, I have copies of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
take a look at that.
I think
Putting
we,
it in the individual box, one box, probably too small.
don't you think it would be good for him to return with the design?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely, yeah.
And-
Yeah,
Or with
maybe-
more than one
Maybe
design?
you use all three bands, sir, and you put their logo in the
Maybe like 2
middle.
to 3 different.
Separate out the three different.
Separate three individual signs, orthodontics, logo on the line, within those three boxes.
That might work.
I like that.
Yeah.
That might work very well. I'll mock it up, but
But you're staying within the square footage, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think that's it. That'd be-
you're only allowed one sign on the frontage, but.
No, it's considered, it would be one sign.
That's what I mean, we
Yeah.
consider it as
Oh,
one sign.
positively, it's the name of the business, so.
Yeah.
It's almost like what Wayne Sporting Goods, I'm trying to think, Wayne Sporting Goods, when they were there, they used
They
three
had three.
distinct panels,
Yeah.
remember
They
that?
had 3 distinct panels.
Yeah, and then I guess Holland flooring, whatever
Yeah.
else
Well,
they
we
have
made
there.
them pretty much mirror what
Yeah,
was there
You know,
before.
they could, even make the center panel even more decorative around their logo if they wanted to.
some
You
teeth
know,
on
because you're
it
gonna
or
have that open space on either side of whatever that image is.
well, now,
I don't know.
are you suggesting that the signs, the three panels, fill in that space within the border?
Yes.
Because that's very little height.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And
the brickwork's the framework,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
it would look,
Yeah.
it would look beautiful if it
And
worked.
then you wouldn't have to project it off the face of the building because you're not illuminating it.
yeah, and to tell you the truth,
It would look
Yeah.
fantastic.
it saves me the nightmare of having to deal with a 20-foot-long,
Yeah.
high-density urethane sign, which would have to be spliced. It's just, the
Yeah.
material does not come in that length. Okay, so we'll come back with the same application, is that correct? So,
We'll do a
We'll-
continuation. Yeah,
okay,
and again, I mean, you're gonna have to talk to the business owner.
of course.
If you think there's a better idea, you can certainly bring that in. We're just here to give you some suggestions. We're not telling you how to manufacture your sign, but
Yeah,
I think some of these points were really well taken, so why don't you go back and hash it out? So we need to get on next month's agenda, though. We're going to need,
you'll need renderings by about a week from now.
actually, October 19th.
Yeah,
Yeah. Our meeting's on November 9th, yeah, October 19th, so.
Plenty of time.
I gotta believe there's a nice, clean-cut image of that previous business somewhere. You know, you really can see it
Well, I think-
legibly
Well, I
and see
think this is
exactly
a
what
good
they have.
solution. 'Cause
Yeah.
it could be three different
Yeah.
signs based off their,
Yeah.
wording.
And it keeps the integrity of the architectural of the building.
yeah, I agree with you, the building is beautiful.
I think we probably want to get that,
Yeah,
keep
back
it in
in
the
the
file, but
Yeah, yeah, if we can grab that black and white from you.
Oh,
just keep it in the
yes.
file.
I can find
there
it.
anything else you want to ask us tonight, or any comments?
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Tim, you want to take that?
In the matter of DRB 2022-50, I move to continue this matter.
Okay, here a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. So we'll look forward to seeing you next month.
Yes,
Okay, good.
Thanks for being here.
I'm looking forward to being here next month.
Okay, terrific.
Have a nice evening.
For being accommodating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think putting it right in those boxes is beautiful. Black in the brick. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna,
I think it's one of the reasons we need to look at the ordinance, is like in certain parts of the business districts, maybe we need to have even more, like, colors or sizes.
right.
I always hated that Vinny's Pizza sign we approved.
Oh, gosh.
What were we doing that night, Bob?
I don't know.
Did he sucker us with pizza or something?
That was a good pizza you brought. No. Okay, so we've got two more applications tonight. Yeah. Both glad it's the same owner. So that we're going to go, first, we're going to do DRB 2022-51, the application at Aspetta from Luciano Di Felice at 910 Conestoga Road. I'm sorry? No, we're going to do the facade first.
Facade first,
Yeah,
okay.
so this is going to be 910 Conestoga Road. We're going to do the facade renovation, and then we're going to look at your signage.
Okay.
All right? And so Dave from the sign company was in last month, if you remember. We had some questions about the placement of the sign, the facade on the building, and we asked that the owner come back, so here's Luciano tonight. So this is just a little bit of a cleaner version, I think, of what's in our packet, correct?
I didn't get it.
Yeah, my name is Luciano Di Felice from Exit 13. So there was some, we'll get into that in a minute, there was some pushback on the meeting last month on the name, so we don't have a problem with it, we changed it. So new name is going to be Exit 13, and we'll get into that in a minute. Pizzeria in Garrett Hill. So right now we're talking about the facade. This facade was approved about a year ago, something very similar to this. I believe pretty much everyone here was on board except maybe Mrs. Park. And so I'll point out the differences that from last year to this year. What we decided to do is to dress it up a little bit more. I talked to some local community people, and we're going to go with a black aluminum fascia up top, which comes out 16 inches. We're doing two canopies, the black canopies, which come out 3 feet, and the garage door. That is, again, aluminum and glass. So and then the fourth thing is, came back from the community, that they wanted me to help make the sides, the back, aesthetically more pleasing. So I'm going to add a board and batten.
Well, you know, Luciano, since that's not on tonight's application, we're not going to be able to approve that. You're talking about the sides of the building?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't be able to approve that.
Okay.
It's just what is on tonight's
No
application,
problem, no
which is
problem.
the
This doesn't take
front.
long. The most order.
I'm curious to see what you were gonna do in the back.
I want to
It's
wrap.
not before us now,
Yeah.
but it would affect
Yeah, yeah.
how I consider
Yeah,
the
it's
front.
just a
Okay.
board and batten siding that goes all around the building. I just thought black would look good because it would match the front facade. Put siding on all around, wrap it all around,
Okay.
sides, front,
We'll-
sides, both sides. And
We
then
will ask you to come back on
back,
that.
yeah, it was no
We've had some
problem. It's-
Controversy recently with colors and on buildings and stuff like that.
Not a problem. And so that was, it wasn't it's not on top of my agenda. That's from the community wants me to help, dress it up a little bit more. So the more important thing is we just put a brand new roof on the top of the roof. We ripped the entire roof out. This is a $1.34 million renovation on this building. So right now there's
holes along the top of the roof because we need to put TPO on top of that. We need to wrap the TPO along the fascia on the front. The fascia takes 12 to 13 weeks to order. So we can't order that until it's approved, and we're trying to get that in before winter comes in. So the fascia up top is the black aluminum fascia, which is the same thing we had before, approved last year. We're just changing the color. And then we're adding the canopies and the garage door.
I thought last year we approved a brick
The brick is
up top, it was all the way along the top.
no, there was a fascia there.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a fascia there.
That's all, I didn't get the picture. That's the other picture I got. Oh, no, I got pictures just now from him. It didn't come in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so so how about like the balconies upstairs?
That was part of the last year's approval.
That was.
They were there, yeah. So the only new things are, there's 3 new things. We won't talk about the sidings. It's the change of the color of the top fascia from, it was like a brown to a black. The canopies. And just the right window door.
I thought last year we had, where there was gonna be the deck out over the top of, on the left side.
Yeah, last year we didn't even have a canopy or a deck out there, so we just,
Last year there was something that came, that we were talking about putting the deck out there. There was gonna be a walkout deck for the residents on the 2nd floor. And it was, ultimately, I thought we agreed on having a brick facade rather than having any type of fascia.
so the brick facade was approved last year, and the brick facade is already there.
Right.
It's already built, and that was approved last year. We were in limbo between outdoor dining and being approved last year. It wasn't approved, so that's where we were undecided what to do with the canopies and how far, and we didn't have anything there.
Right, because it was, ultimately, there was, the door was gonna be some type of enclosure where it was gonna be jutting out towards the parking lot, and you had to walk in the one door one way to be able to get in. There was conversation, I remember talking about whether you'd be able to open the door with where the cars were.
I remember that. Didn't they have that fold back, kind of?
It was a full window.
Okay, yeah, so I apologize. The entrance projected out of maybe a couple feet? Yeah. So we're putting it flush with the building. We're making it flush with the brick wall. It's not projecting out, and we're having the canopy above 3 feet.
Is it looks like an addition, but it's not. The left side of the building, is that part of the restaurant, or is that still separate?
That's going to be part of the restaurant. Okay. So the restaurant's going to be divided into 2 spaces. The left side will be the to-go pickup area.
Okay.
And the right side will be your dining area.
Yeah, there's plenty of space in the inside.
Wasn't there concern, Bob, with a restaurant with a garage door with Kevin?
Oh, yeah. That's what Nick's Filet wanted to do.
Was he a concern?
Or no,
about,
the Greek place. The
he
Greek place said.
About mice or
Well, I
bugs?
think some of it is if the windows are open and there's food out, like a buffet, where the flies are going to come in and stuff like that. But I guess that's more of a health code issue.
Yeah, we have an aerator above so that no flies or anything can come in as well. And again, you know, how many days?
It's more of a building codes thing than.
Yeah. You mentioned that you threw this facade around the community.
Yeah, I just talked to a couple of neighbors I know. I grew up in Garrett Hill, and they, you know, one of the people, especially on Wentworth and Summit Terrace, you know, they're like, can we do something about, you know, the back, the sides, and so I wanted to do something, you know, about the, you know, the building. So I grew up.
The parking lot's not going in now, right?
Yeah, parking lot's not going in. We don't know what's going to happen there, but we'll see.
What's the parking lot?
The vacant lot behind here was going to be converted to a parking lot. The township was looking to buy it at one point, and I think that was, 2 months ago or something like that.
Yeah. At that, there was a town hall meeting, and one of the biggest complaints at that town hall meeting was, hey, can we do something about the aesthetics of this building.
When is the store opening?
Which, before the vacancy of that lot, nobody would ever see the back of this
Yeah,
building.
exactly. Now that the fence down, everything's down, I know. We're making progress. March Madness.
So Lisa just got the old application. Colin's going to review it.
Cool.
So tell us where you are right now with this project. Where are you at?
Yeah, so this is a large project, and it's going to be something exciting, new, probably the coolest pizzeria in the whole entire Philadelphia area. We're going to have sky 20-feet ceilings. We've got rid of the apartments above, so it's going to be just, a pretty cool space when you're walking into. There'll be a bar that you can walk into, and the bar is going to be super cool. It's going to have the stools as scooters. So it's just something different, it's just something unique, something fun. And we're probably 2 months into the project. And we're shooting for January 31st completion and 1 month of just, finding ourselves in the kitchen a little bit and then opening in March.
Wow. But right now, the buildings, I happened to go down to Bryn Mawr, I think it was yesterday, and
It's cleaned
got a lot
up.
of work to go.
It's cleaned up. Yeah, it's cleaned up. It's a lot of work. But these guys that I'm working with these guys are good.
So what's the proposed parking? Just curious, for your restaurant?
Where's our parking?
Yeah, is it just the parking in the front?
Yeah, technically speaking, we have parking in the alley, driving, and a little bit in the back.
There are
And,
spots on the right there?
in the back?
Yeah, the alley there?
In the alley, yeah, there's a few, according
How
to,
many spots do you think are you?
technically speaking, we have 10.
10.
Yeah. Are they 10?
How many patrons?
Realistically, we don't know.
How many patrons could you sit?
We're allowed to seat like 40-something, or 40. So, but that doesn't include walk-in.
Right.
So there could be up to 60 people in there at one time.
All right, this is something that I recall, like, we're
Yep.
I remember this back from last time, because there was an issue of it because of the Garrett Hill overlay.
The overlay district?
Well, it's not an overlay, whatever, it's the Garrett Hill.
It's Garrett Hill, Conestoga Road, that's what it's
Yeah.
zoned.
Got
Garrett
it.
Hill, Conestoga Road.
And it's the requirement, and this is why we went back and forth last year on the facade, because there's actually, when they did the Garrett Hill project, 20 years ago, and all the meetings and the happenstance that got that through, it was a requirement that cornices shall be incorporated as a design element in a building with flat roofs, and shall be subject to the review by the design review board. So it has to have cornices. And we had this conversation last time about the different things that they had proposed, whether they were cornices or not. And ultimately,
Yeah, I think if I remember right.
that's
yeah.
why the cornices like this were ultimately approved,
I see,
right? Because these are definitely cornices. Whether what this is, would be considered a cornice,
Yeah, I think the application came in twice. I think the second time your
Yeah, it did
architect came in, or maybe he came in both times, but
I
he
saw it
came back with the
once.
clarification. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure you were in twice. A
we were
year.
in a few times.
Few times, yeah.
And that was, I think, the holdup there with that.
Right.
And since it's actually in the code, we're bound by
Yeah,
what it says, so it would be up to us to interpret really.
Yeah.
if that's a cornice or not, right,
Cornices.
okay. Yeah.
Unless Kevin looks at it differently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lawyer, not an engineer or an architect or a builder.
I'm just curious what the definition of cornice is, because, you could argue that this is. but I
That's a
don't know.
fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think it's a Kevin question.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And he's not
I
here
mean,
tonight.
it is a different look to the top of the building, it's not just straight across. But
I'm not
cornices to
opposed to the
me,
look.
cornices to me
Yeah, so,
are above the roof line, right?
not to, I'm the last person to cry, but I'm just a little worried of some kind of solution because we're going to go into winter and infiltration between the two brick walls there. It's open
Yeah,
for the winter.
I just, yeah,
By definition, he meets it.
Is it?
yeah.
A cornice is a horizontal molded projection that crowns or completes a building or wall.
This is Yeah.
Well, I guess Kevin's gonna have the last say on it. You know,
Yeah.
No, and I
Okay.
remember the main issue, I think, that when it came in last year was the initial proposal was essentially what looked like it belonged in DC with it being concrete, which didn't work with the aesthetic of the right there with all the different buildings right on Conestoga. So I think
Well-
keeping it brick,
Question on shedding, though. Where's the rainwater shedding to?
The front,
Yeah, is that a concern of yours? You know, is it dripping on your patrons as they enter the facade, you know?
yeah, so that's part of the reason why the canopies, but the whole entire lot is pitched.
No, I get it, but I don't know if
Yeah.
building codes may have a requirement that then kills your look.
Yeah.
Are they gonna say that you need gutters and downspouts?
Yeah,
Well, the
And
other
then-
problem is, I know Braxton had a problem in their new building 20 years ago, is the snow. And when that snow starts cascading off these big hunks,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
coming down.
that's an issue as
you know,
well.
20
you said
something
these are
feet.
projecting out 3 feet?
16 inches.
6, oh, no, it's not 3 feet.
The canopies are 3 feet.
Canopies are 3 feet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Have you done snow load on the canopies?
That's another question.
yeah.
That's not ours.
That was,
No, I know, that's building codes.
is somebody within the township seen this proposal and talked to you
Yeah,
about this?
Andy Pankos comes out weekly.
What's he
yeah.
have to say about it?
He's, you know, on top of every single thing we're doing, every single week. He didn't seem to have an issue with this. We've seen it many
Are
times.
these cornices framed?
I-
Like, you don't have a metal
There-
stud framing in place to accept the cladding right now, do you? Or do you? I'm asking, I guess.
I don't know how they're mounted exactly, I'll be honest. But I do know that we want to get the TPO, so they're 10 weeks out to get this frame in, and 10 to 12 weeks out. And then we need to get the TPO roof over and connected to this cornice. So we can order it, you know, tomorrow, and so it'll be in by December.
All right, well, I think, you know, it's almost an engineering code
Yeah,
enforcement
at this
issue
point-
more than design review board at this point, you know.
I
We
think
could
I think we're voicing our concerns.
Yes.
And then Kevin and,
Andy
and, sorry, Luciano would then discuss
Sure.
offline.
Right. I think that's a valid point, though. I mean, you just don't want rainwater cascading down and
Well,
snow
I think your
cascading
point's even
down.
more valid.
Yeah. I know Braxton went
from a
back and they
safety
put the
concern.
spikes in the roof there to kind of break up the snow as it slid down. And, but that's a hazard.
Snow.
You know, when somebody
Or
club
sheets
by
of,
it.
or sheets of ice.
What, I'm sorry?
Sheets of
Sheets
ice.
of ice.
Right, exactly. I mean, kill
We
somebody.
might need to have
Well, that's what-
the
yeah.
icebreakers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Braxton ended up doing.
When they heated the
Put the
inside of the
spikes,
Reading
yeah.
terminal, all those years ago, when they changed the Reading terminal's big train shed into an indoor space and put heat in it, it was a big problem. Sheets of ice were falling off that big domey thing onto
Right.
the sidewalks on,
Right.
I think it's 11th Street or 12th Street, and crushing cars.
Wow. Good way to get a new
So
car.
they had to put those little things on.
Yeah.
This, I was looking at this while you were talking about the second floor. What's happening to the second floor now? It's not residential anymore?
The interior is all blown up, so we removed the second floor, so it's a 20-foot ceiling restaurant.
Wow. And where's is the kitchen still gonna be in the back, or?
All the way in the back.
Okay. All right, so we have a question about that aesthetically. Do we like the look?
Yeah. It's okay.
But we don't know whether, again, it's going to come down to in-house township engineering, code enforcement, community development. The window type, you have your new window type in the application. You want to let us know what you have planned there?
The garage door?
Is that the new window type
Yeah, it's
application?
supposed to be the same grade, same, it's aluminum, the garage door is the same as the other doors. It's all aluminum siding and windows flush with the building.
All right, so where do you want to go with this?
Not sure.
Yeah.
And the lighting on the wall, are those ornamental, or are they actual?
There's, sconces, but that should be approved from the last, were they on the, I believe they were on the last,
I might have been.
Luciano, why the change in the roof line? What prompted that?
In the building, there was these columns, like 4 or 5 columns supporting the second floor and the top roof. And I wanted to deliver something different, unique, and the only way, you had to get rid of those columns which was supporting the second floor and the roof. And the only way to do that was to bring in trusses, so a whole entire new, trusses are going across the top of the roof. We put in new pillars all around the interior, supporting the trusses, and then a new roof. So you don't have, columns when you walk into the space.
So you're saying it would not have worked?
It would have worked, yeah.
With this application from a year ago?
Yeah, it would not have worked.
All right, well, I think, Tim, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's an improvement over what's there, right?
It looks so similar.
I'm sorry.
It looks similar to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, well, why don't we make some sort of motion here so we can move on to the next.
This is, honestly, it's only because there's actually so much
Going on.
windows up front now that you're
Yeah.
actually going to see the inside, so the inside's actually going to be
Yeah.
part of the aesthetics of the outside now.
Yeah,
Which is actually going to be really neat.
it's going to be cool.
The dividing wall where the beer fridges used to be,
Yep.
is that wall still going to be there? Or you
That'll still be
pull that
there.
out to get to the left side?
Yeah, so once you have a choice to go into one of the 2 spaces, either you dine in or you pick up. If you go in the pickup area or you go in the dining area, you can't just walk over.
So you're sealing off the entrance, because there used to be the walkway to get through.
Yeah, that's closed up. Yeah.
I guess that was closed up because you put somebody in there on the left side, some office was in there for a minute, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a few different tenants, but this space is designed in for either you're coming in for, it's almost 2 different types of businesses, where you're picking up, or kind of like a Chili's. You got your to-go section and you,
Can I ask one more question?
sure.
You have a building permit.
Yep.
Does this awning that you're presenting to us right now show up on your building permit plans?
I believe so, yeah. I believe so.
Then I think.
Cool, good.
All right, well, again, we'll have Kevin review it.
I mean, if that's the case, and
Well,
this
it's
is
reviewed.
approved.
We don't have to, they review it for it anyway,
Right, okay. All right. Any other questions for us, Luciano, on this application?
What would happen here depending on, contingent on a motion, we would go to Kevin and,
Well, I guess Kevin and Andy Pankos and Steve Norsini
Okay.
have the final say on a lot of this stuff, so.
we'll talk to them tomorrow.
If this design is approved on a building permit application, then
Right.
we don't even have we
Yeah.
shouldn't even be looking at it.
Right.
Oh, we're looking for the aesthetics, but we
Okay,
don't have to
okay.
worry about, we
Then
don't
I
have to
guess-
worry about the
Then I guess
the
we're approving
structural
the
concerns.
aesthetics.
Okay.
Right?
Are we approving the aesthetics?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Well, then, Tim, we'll let you do this one too, okay?
In the matter of DRB 2022-51, I move to approve the application.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Thanks for hanging in there, and we got this last one for you, Luciano.
All right, one more, we got a ball game.
I'm sorry?
One more, we got a ball game.
There you go. Yeah, exactly, so,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so the last thing on our agenda tonight is DRB 2022-42, the application of, I'm sorry, please? Oh, I'm sorry.
There it is. I was hoping that the T would still be making through.
Okay,
Yes,
oh, yeah, it's completely different.
yeah.
Yeah, so, Luciano, why don't we hold this and ask you to come
That's
back
fine, because
next
this
month?
is not urgent. This is fine, it's fine.
Okay, all right, why don't we
No problem.
turn these back in? You can resubmit for next month, is that all right, Lisa?
Conceptually, it's like a street sign?
Yeah, it's so changed, it's,
Yeah, but just remember,
with the Vesta
it's
being
by
the
the
T still.
19th, right, to resubmit it?
He likes the Vesta as the T.
Part of the reason why there was pushback, we understood that from the Motorino, I get it, no problem. I
No,
spoke-
we didn't push back, we just brought it to your attention.
No, we got it, and I spoke with my counselor, and he's like, technically they're right, or it could be right, you know, it's a battle.
We didn't care that you were using it, we just brought it to your.
I know, but
attention.
it's fine, it's fine. This name is even cooler, it's okay.
All right, so let me just run this again. DRB 2022-42, the application of Motorino, 910 Conestoga Road, one wall sign, which was in last month. The applicant has come in with an entirely different plan, which we have not seen in our packet ahead of time.
No problem.
So a continuation, Lisa, is that going to be all right? Okay, so somebody want to make a motion to
In the matter
continue?
of DRB 2022-42, I move to continue.
Okay, do we hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Luciano, just so you know, you need to get your plans in on or before October 19th for the November 9th.
Perfect.
What's your target open date?
March Madness.
All right.
Okay,
All right, thank you, guys.
all right, thank you. Okay, any other business tonight for our board?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we'll see you on the November 9th then. All right, thanks, Luciano.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Thank you, everybody.